pop there. There it goes. She's on.
View.
See if it goes. Hit it. Hit it. Full gallery. There we go.
There we go.
Okay. And get that out of there. There must be an X or something.
Continue.
What does that say?
Hmm?
What does that say?
Leave meeting.
No,
I
what
don't
does
wanna
that
leave.
say?
Continue.
Then hit it because you want to get it out of there. There you go. Okay?
Yep.
And your full.
Hi, folks.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Mike.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Hello.
Kit, is that you on the cell phone?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
All right. It does look like we have a quorum, so we are good to go. Okay.
In compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act, this is a regular scheduled meeting pursuant to the annual meeting notice published in the January 28th, 2021 issue of the Hunterdon County Democrat. A copy of the agenda was forwarded to the Hunterdon County Democrat, filed in the Township Clerk's office, and posted on the bulletin board and Township website. Kit Christofoy.
Here.
Ann Del Campo. Bill Dupasse.
Here.
John Mills.
Here.
John Paring. Mike Mills.
Here.
Good to go.
All right. Is there a way I could take me off mute without having to hit the?
Let me see.
It looks like that might have worked. Okay, cool.
All right, you should be good now.
All right. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Mike.
Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes from the previous meeting? I'll take that as a yes. Does anyone have any issues with the minutes?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
Need a motion?
Yeah, can I get a motion to accept the minutes?
Sorry, motion.
Second.
Okay. Can I get a motion to open to the public, please?
All in favor?
Oh, sorry, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Then motion to open to the public.
Second.
Second that?
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody from the public like to speak? You could just unmute yourself. Okay. Motion to close?
All right, motion to close?
Second. Or motion, I'm sorry.
I'll second. Okay, we'll move on to reports. Nothing to report for FastSpec at this point. Hopefully we'll have a meeting soon, so we'll have something to report. And I have nothing from the CADB meeting. I don't know if anybody else attended or has any information about that.
I haven't been attending, so I haven't.
Okay. So maybe we can remove that from our future reports. If
Okay.
it's, you know, John used to go to those, but he hasn't been attending, so. Okay, so we can move on to the unfinished business. Does anyone have anything to say about the farmland preservation plan that has changed from last month?
No.
I have no updates on my end.
Where do we stand with it? Where is it at?
I'm still not sure. I mean, I need to at least see the latest version. Do you know who has the latest version?
Catherine Fullerton had everything, I think, right?
Yeah, I think she said she forwarded it on to someone, but I'm not exactly sure who has the latest. I know that we're not on the, you know, we don't have to get that done immediately now. There's been a extension, but still doesn't mean we should be putting it off. If there's things that need to get done, we could probably do them sooner than later.
I'll look in her drive and forward it on to you.
Okay, I appreciate that. She took a lot of stuff out. She did a lot of work on it, so shouldn't be too much of a lift. Okay, we can move on to the Farming Resources Bulletin Board. Again, I have no updates on that. You know, again, people talked about using the existing Facebook, you know, the marketplace and such. But if there's anybody that wants to discuss that, please go ahead.
Do you think it would be practical for Allison to come back and talk about it since she initiated it?
Yeah, if she's willing to come and kind of spearhead that, that'd be great. I mean, I don't have it in my wheelhouse right now to do that, but I can definitely provide some feedback and such, but.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great. We can move on to preserved property maintenance. So I'm really not the point man on that one. I know Kit and I've been speaking with Rick about that and some other people. Bill had some updates, but has there been any feed or any response from?
I haven't heard a thing from anyone.
Didn't Chris share an email or something like that, Chris? Didn't you send something to us?
Absolutely
last
did.
month?
Yeah, I heard about the proposed burn, but that was the latest.
Yeah.
I saw Tina Notice, that's the lady we spoke with from DNR Greenway when we had the meeting. July 12th, she sent me a notice that's being put in the Trenton Times and the Democrat in regards to the land trust, in regards to, let me see what it says. They have applied for the Green Acres funds to undertake stewardship projects to preserve at Cider Mill and Ringo's.
Nice.
So they applied for grants so they can do the maintenance that we talked about.
Mike, they asked East Amwell if we would support their application for a grant, and I wrote a letter on behalf of DNR supporting their request for a grant.
Thank you.
Krista has a copy of it. She could forward it to you guys.
How long will this take?
Well, it depends when they get the grant money. It's whenever.
I talked with Forest Fire about this too, and they said it can take up to a year to plan out the burn with the way things are going right now. So if I don't know if you want to forward back to her and just tell her if they can start the process with Forest Fire. There's a lot of site inspections and stuff like that need to happen. Maybe they can get ahead of this a little bit instead of just waiting for the money and then waiting for a plan to come together for the burn. If that's the way they do want to go with this.
Well,
It sounds like this year, nothing's going to be done at all.
Well, I have to look at the grant, the material they sent me, but the material they sent did not refer to a burn. It looked to me like they had a different plan. But if you just bear with me.
Well, it's a good thing we started this now because maybe nothing would have happened for the next couple of years. So
It says here.
That's the way
that-
things have been going. And I'm afraid to say they like it that way. They don't want to do anything.
Well, I'm not prepared to impute ill motives to them quite yet, but what they are looking to do on approximately 70 of the acres, 70 of the acres, is to effectuate a proposed grassland improvement and maintenance initiative. And that, this will include mowing and overseeding with warm season grasses. They say nothing in this grant about a burn.
But that was.
I don't profess to understand what I've just said. I mean, I understand what mowing is and overseeding. I don't know what warm season grasses are, but that's what they're looking to do with the grant.
But
I
we should
think
know
the
what the
burn was a
grants
separate
are.
subject.
Yeah.
I think these were two different parts.
okay.
So I guess progress, so we have another conversation with them.
Okay.
Did they ever come up with a management plan yet?
No,
No.
I did touch base with them on the last time and they said they have not done that yet.
Yeah.
Look, if anybody wants, I can reach out to Tina Notas, Notas, who's the Director of Land Stewardship, and she is the one who sent me the request for my support for this grant application. I'm not looking to stick my nose in where it's not wanted, but if people want me to
sending an
stick
email
my
now.
nose in, I will.
I don't see how it could hurt.
It can't hurt. You know, something should be done with that property. They've done nothing for so many years, and they have to be pushed.
I just asked her for the status. I just sent her an email.
Thank
Well,
you.
I'll give her a call tomorrow. And see,
Is there a way for the township to fine them for not taking care of their property?
I don't know the answer to that. I don't think the township has very strict ordinances about taking care of that type of property. There may be
Well,
something about mowing once a year, but there's not going to be wild enthusiasm, I don't think, to go after a not-for-profit that's done a lot for East Amwell over years in terms of putting property into preservation.
That's a matter of opinion on doing a lot for the township. From what I see, they do more harm to the township than what the township gains.
That may be your, well, that is your opinion, but in my
It
impression,
is.
the vast majority of the residents would not agree with your opinion.
I happen to be a neighbor that suffers from what they do.
I understand, and I'll do what I can to be helpful if you want me to.
Yeah.
But if you want me to
But-
lie to you and tell you that the township would warmly embrace the concept of fining them, I'm not going to do that. The township is not going to warmly embrace the concept of fining them. Because I am confident when I say the vast majority of the residents in East Amwell are supportive of what DNR Greenway is doing.
That's amazing. I think if the residents understood what they were doing, they might have a different feeling.
I think the residents do have an understanding of what they're doing. The residents have seen the result of what they're doing. Part of the reason that East Amwell is as beautiful as it is because what DNR Greenway and several other land trusts have done.
A
And
lot
I
of
think the
people have a
residents
different opinion
recognize
of
that.
beautiful. Beautiful is not looking at weeds growing, contaminating the neighborhood. That's
So,
not
Bill-
beautiful.
To answer your question, I, as zoning officer, would have to look at any type of contract or resolution that was done to see if I can do anything about it as zoning officer.
Yeah, years ago, there was a big thing about Maresca's junkyard, and the township went crazy about that. This is no different.
No, this is very different, Bill. I don't take
to me,
that
it's no
analogy
different.
at all. I
No
don't take that
different at all.
analogy at all. It's not even close.
Well, I'm just making a comparison or, a rationality of what happens to the neighborhood when something like that happens.
I understand your problem. You and I have discussed it in the past. And if folks want, I will do what I can to try to help rectify it. Am I going to encourage at this point fining DNR Greenway? No. Maybe the other members of the township committee will want to encourage fining DNR Greenway, and you can talk to them about it. But I would not encourage that at all, given what they've done for this township over the years.
But I don't understand why they end up with so much money to buy property around the township and then they don't maintain it.
Well, so much like beauty is in the eye of the beholder. They do get some money.
Well, that is true in the eye of the beholder. So you even said yourself about the DNR up on the S Bend. It looks beautiful. It's blooming flowers, which weeds bloom, not grass.
Right. So then when you're talking about beauty, residents who drive by who see blooming flowers see beauty.
That's
So
weeds.
the notion that the residents are going to rise up
Well,
with
they don't.
pitchforks and
they're
burning
not
stakes
educated
in hand against
on what's
DNR
going
Greenway
on.
is not correct.
Well, weeds blooming is not beautiful.
All right, they're
Weeds
just
blooming are
different
very
opinions.
beautiful to somebody who doesn't understand necessarily
You're
what the weeds
exactly
are
right.
doing.
That's what it is. They don't understand.
Right,
They
but
should
even if they
understand.
do, this is one parcel in East Amwell Township. DNR, they're not going to rise up against DNR Greenway with respect to this one parcel. You and I could sit here and debate this all night. You have one view, I have a different view.
And I think
All
we
I
need
can
to
do
move
is
on.
offer to try to prod DNR Greenway to address the problem. I acknowledge the problem, Bill. I've discussed it with you. I've discussed it with your son. I've discussed it with Kit.
Well,
I understand the problem.
It
I
sounds
think
like
we
the
need to move
township
on to a next topic.
The township
think-
goes to bed with the DNR Greenway. So they, you guys aren't going to do anything. So what are
Well,
we
you know
talking
what,
about?
Bill? Let me give you an honest response to that. I sat at a meeting where the farmers said to us, leave us alone. So it's leave us alone unless we want something. Then when we want something, we don't want you to leave us alone. We want you to put the full resources of the town behind what we want. So which is it, Bill? Leave us alone or help us?
I never
Or is
said
it leave us alone, except when it benefits us, then we want you to help us and put the full resources of the town behind helping us. Which
Okay.
is it, Bill?
The neighbors of DNR Greenway at the S-Bend, did any of them say leave us alone?
I don't know who those neighbors are, so I don't know what they've said.
Who said leave us alone? What farmers?
Well, off the top of my head, Dave Bond, but there was a whole host of farmers there who did not want us sticking their nose into their business, and they made it very clear. Dave Bond was the most blunt of all of them, if I recall correctly, but
And
Dave Bond wasn't
is
the only one who
big
gave us the leave us
spokesperson on
alone
the
message.
problems of DNR. So I think we're talking about two different things, leaving
No, we're not.
alone on one thing, but not on something else.
No, it wasn't leave us alone on one thing or something else. It was keep your nose out of our business.
I
Okay,
think we
And
need to move
if it's
on.
not
leave
us alone,
Krista,
then
can you mute
explain
them
to
so we
me-
can move on, please? I think we need to
Yep,
move
let's
on. from
move
this.
on.
I'm fine with that.
I'll make one last comment that I extremely support the DNR Greenway and the biodiversity they bring in. The amount of increase the ecology is so important. And if we can see more land being preserved, that would be the best thing. When you have these issues like this, yeah, I understand that it's a problem, but the positivity that it does to the environment is so much more important than some weeds. And I understand, but there's things we can do for that too. But I appreciate the passion that everyone has for it. So that's ending the preserved property maintenance. Let's move on to small farm initiatives. This is the list of different projects that I've been talking about. And no one's asked me to share the list with them. I'm updating it constantly. If anybody wants to see it, I said last month that I would put it up publicly. I don't have a space for that right now, but if somebody wants to see it, I'll be happy to share it with them. I spoke a lot about these projects with Tam, and she was like really excited. And that was just stuff that was off the cuff, but if she ever wanted to see that detailed list, I can share with her too. So I can show you, Tam.
Mike, is that something you want to post to our website or not as of yet?
I don't know. It doesn't seem like anybody really cares about it just yet. I think
Okay.
I have like the generic list I could share, but I don't think I put a lot of effort into it, and there's like business plans for each of these concepts. So I don't know if it's something that I want to share in the large scale, but at least give people the idea of what we're looking to do. So
Okay.
yeah, I can give you something to post up there that's just kind of like, here are some highlighted potential, opportunities for, an upcoming or aspiring entrepreneur that wants to do agriculture. Okay.
Mhm.
So then on to new business is the farm project. And Tam, were you going to speak about this tonight? Okay, so Tam has been working relentlessly on lots of projects, and we keep adding projects to the list, and I try to help when I can, but this is the busy season, obviously. So I'll let Tam take it away. She could talk about deer management and some other farm-related issues and uses.
Thanks, Mike. So deer management is something that a lot of farmers have brought up, so I wanted to look into it. This is not an issue that I can add to my plate, but I wanted to know enough about it so that maybe I could help somebody get started working on it. I have looked at a number of deer management programs in other towns, and they vary widely. From what I've seen so far, Princeton has one of the most successful ones, but they've also got some of the most money. They've actually brought their deer count down to where they want it to be, but now they have to maintain it. Montgomery has a very popular one that other towns have sort of copied, but our situation is a little different. I don't know that we could copy it verbatim, And they've been doing theirs for about 20 years, and they brought their deer numbers down from about 89 per square mile to somewhere between 69 and 80 per square mile, depending whether you're in the mountain or on the valley. So they've been at it for a long time, and you can see how slowly the numbers come down if you don't have something aggressive like Princeton has. I've also I spoke with Lindsay, and I guess Lindsay spoke with Kit a little bit, got some information about his experience, and that was valuable. I've asked Marnie if she would talk to the Environmental Commission to see if the Environmental Commission would be interested in taking this on, because the deer do impact the environment, but they also impact farmers. So I wanted to ask you guys if you wanted to work on this. In my mind, I think it would be great if this committee and the Environmental Commission could work together, and maybe put the best of your resources together to work on this. But that's really why I just wanted to talk to you guys about it, to see if you could help. I think the farmers here probably have the best handle on who some of the best hunters are. And really, it seems like, and having an effective hunting program is probably the best way to manage this. I have my own personal sort of thoughts about what might be the most effective. I don't know if it's, this is the time to interject that, but culling the herd is really what's going to be both best for the herd and also for the environment and for farmers. So the idea is, let's get a program together that might make that happen. Another thing I did is I started reaching out to some of the township committee people to see if they would be willing to put some township funds towards this. I also reached out to Sauerland Conservancy, because this is important to them, to see if they would be willing to put some maybe matching funds to this. I haven't gotten a formal response from either of them, but my sort of informal discussions with a few people suggests that there are people in both those groups who are at least interested in the idea. Obviously, the devil's in the details, and we got to sort it out, but you got to start the conversation somewhere. So the main reason to bring it to you guys is to see if this is something that this committee would be willing to at least work on, if not take it on completely, but at least get involved.
Yeah, I'm definitely in helping on that.
That'd be great. And what do you think of the idea of coordinating with the Environmental Commission?
Oh yeah, it couldn't hurt. They might have more contacts on the environmental side, and we have more contacts on the farmer side, and put our heads together.
Yeah, I'm thinking there's an educational component to this, because I'm not sure the public fully understands why this is important. And I think there's a very good chance we'll get some resistance from the public. So maybe the Environmental Commission can help with that educational component, whereas this committee can help with the sort of practical component of the logistics of putting a program together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
What I did on my property, I don't know, about 5 years ago, a club approached me to hunt on the farm. And I told them that if they went on my deparation permit, which they could shoot deer year round.
Right.
And if they shoot 20 deer by September 1st, then they can hunt on my farm for free. And they did that, and they've been doing that every year. So last year they got 35, the year before 37. This year is lower because of the deer they shot in the past. Now the neighbor's property that I rent, they have a different club that goes on, and most clubs, the hunters, they just want to go out hunting season for the big buck. They don't care about getting rid of deer. They don't care about the amount of deer. They want one big buck. So that club refuses to have everybody come on because they want to come out in the fall for the big buck. So one of my soybean fields that are out there, probably 3 acres of that is gone already there's 13 to 15 deer out in the field every night. So I don't know, the key, I think, is making everyone be part of a deparation permit where they start hunting, April, May, June, July, the early growth of beans and corn to get rid of them. Not hunting season. The hunting
Right.
season doesn't work.
Right. Do you have any idea how many farmers have a depredation permit?
Quite a few, but what happens too is on some of these, the deparation permit, the few people that are on it are hunters that like to hunt in the fall and get the big buck. So nothing much happens. So I presented at different meetings what I did on, the requirement of shooting 20 deer by September 1st. It gives them the incentive to hunt on a farm for free instead of paying rent.
Right.
So if others can do that, I mean, it works. It works.
That sounds great. Now, do you require those to be 20 antlerless deer?
I don't care, 4 legs. I don't care what it is.
Okay. And then what happens to that? I mean, a big issue is what happens to that meat. I mean, some of it goes to food banks. Lindsay actually suggested the idea of
So
getting it
far
up to the
with this-
wolf preserve, which I thought was a great idea.
With these hunters, every 100% of the meat is taken by the hunter themselves, butchered and used or given away.
Okay. From what I understand, there's a lot of people who just can't use that much meat, and there's some cost to that butchering.
Well, yes.
Does that become a hindrance to some
It
people?
becomes an issue because people want to go out and shoot the deer, but they don't want to spend the money to get rid of it. And, a lot of people can't afford to
Right.
to spend money on getting rid of, 2, 3, 5, 10 deer, whatever,
Right.
So, plus the time to haul it, to do whatever. So
Right.
it puts the full responsibility on that hunter. So now some of the deer on my property, the ones I shoot myself, are thrown in a hole.
Ooh.
We're allowed to do that. We can dig a hole, throw them in the hole. We can give the meat away. We can do whatever we want with it. So, which works out good. It for me, less deer the better, and I really don't
Right.
care where it goes.
But then there's groups like Hunters Helping the Hungry that get the product to food banks.
Right.
Or like I said, Lindsay's idea of getting it up to the wolf preserve.
I mean, that's
another good
that's
idea.
all great. If there's no cost to the hunter, that would be even greater. Then you would see more of it. As soon as you put a cost on something that someone is not going, it's like going to the store buying a product that you're not going to keep.
Right. Well, Montgomery has $100 permit fee. They got 90 hunters last year, and that covered all the costs, including all the butchering for the extra deer.
Okay.
So
Hunting, is that hunting season or all year?
I think that's all year. I think they use, I have to double check. Well, Kit, you would know.
I think that was hunting season because you're hunting on township land, I think, and so they can't. I don't think they were able to get depredation permits themselves from the township or something. I know Somerset. I know the park commission ground that we farm.
Yeah.
We would, as the farmers, would have to get the depredation permits, not the park commission. So I'm not.
Yeah.
I think that was just hunting season.
Right. I mean, in Montgomery, the township itself owns the farms and they lease it out, which is a little different. We don't have that situation.
So with that, the hunting season, it's too late. The deer have done their damage already.
Right.
So
Right.
I think the key is early, and they should have a deparation permit.
Right. Well, and I think another key is, for me, personally, I think it's important to have quality hunters. I see
Well,
too many
quality
really
hunters
crappy
and-
hunters.
Yes, and then if the meat could go someplace and be used, that's
Right.
absolutely great.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody gains by that.
No, I think you got a good idea there, Bill. And I think with regard to the logistics, there's an opportunity there for the township to help organize those logistics. We just got to pull the ideas together and then
Yeah.
make
Now-
it, turn
now-
it into a plan.
What about the property owners that refuse hunting? They encourage deer growth and all of that. What can be done? I mean, it's their land. They have the right to say yes or no, but they're hurting others. Can anything be done with that? I mean, it gets a little weird, but I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think what we're looking to do is we're looking to start the program and get the ball rolling.
Yep.
And I don't know if we're going to solve all the problems right at the
Yeah.
start, but that's
Yeah.
certainly something to think about.
But I think the key is deparation permit where you're hunting year round, spring, summer, not just the fall hunting season.
Okay. Do you guys have access to a roster of who has deprivation permits? Or
What do you mean?
do we know, like I said, which farmers have the permits?
Oh, I'm sure if you got a hold of Fish and Game, they could give you a list.
Okay, all right.
I would think.
I can call the state and see if we can get a list. I just thought maybe the township has a list of who, but maybe not.
Probably not.
You guys
It,
don't. Okay.
I know what we're supposed to do is give a copy of that permit to the state police in case, because a lot of times the neighbors call, they're shooting, stuff going on.
Yeah,
Because we're allowed to hunt 24/7, which can be upsetting to some people.
Yeah.
They hear shots 2:00 in the morning on a Sunday.
Yeah.
They wonder why, So
Yeah.
that's why we have to give a copy to the state police. So the state police, they know it's on the up and up.
right. That's why Princeton uses professionals, because they can put silencers on their firearms.
That helps.
Yeah.
That helps.
Okay, I'll check that out. Thank you. And I'll tell Marnie, the chair of the Environmental Commission, that at least you guys are willing to work with them if they're willing to get involved as well.
Sure.
Great.
Tim, I can check with the station commander at Kingwood to see what's on file at the
Oh, that
station.
would be wonderful. Thank you, John.
Thanks, Tam.
Sure.
You're on for the next one, right, Tam?
Okay. Now, this is just, the planning board is working on master plan work, and I just wanted to ask you guys if there are businesses that you would like, that help you farm, that you wish were closer in town. For instance, I mean, it could be everything from, transportation businesses to, accountants or whatnot. I mean, what kind of businesses do you guys interact with, and you wish you didn't have to travel so far to interact with them?
Probably the main thing, and Kit would probably agree with me, is a farm equipment dealer for new equipment. That would be great. Another franchise of either like a John Deere or Case International, so forth.
Okay.
They're with all the dealerships, everything is a minimum of 2 hours away.
Okay,
There's mid-state equipment on 31.
Well,
They
that's a
deal with
Kubota
Kubota.
dealer, but they're
In
they're
Belle Meade,
more of a
there's Macy
landscape-
Ferguson.
Massey
and-
Ferguson is a smaller and limited to. You don't see that much Massey Ferguson equipment out there, so it's limited to what they can do. Mostly what you see, what farmers have mostly is John Deere or Case International, and those dealers, the closest John Deere dealer is Elmer, New Jersey, or Deer Country out in Pennsylvania. Case International, Huber, which is Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware. Who else?
No, I think that's it. You just got, Columbus and Elmer for Central Jersey, Allentown for Deer Country. We got the semi-decent New Holland dealer in Washington, but for parts availability, I always use Essex because they have stuff out here pretty quick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. New Holland, mostly out in Pennsylvania. There's one small dealer in Washington, New Jersey, but he's limited to. See, some of those dealers are limited to the size of equipment and the type of equipment they can sell or maintain or sell parts to. So the larger agriculture equipment is a certain dealer. So even the John Deere dealers, some of them, they can only sell up to maybe a 50 horsepower tractor, and that's it, more of the lawn equipment and stuff. But the larger agriculture equipment are certain dealers, Deer Country, Atlantic Tractor, Central Jersey, that type of thing. And there's, the closest one is 2 hours away.
All right. Anything else? I mean, I heard that, Flemington used to be the big hub, right? Where everything existed in Flemington. Yeah, there were auctions in Flemington and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Back in the 50s and 60s, there was dealerships in Flemington. Yeah. Yeah. They all went away.
All right. Well, I mean, if anything else comes to mind, this is the kind of thing, you just shoot me an email or give me a call or whatnot. But this is what we're thinking about is, bringing the support services that farmers need closer. We're trying to work that into our master plan. So.
All right, thanks, Dan.
Yep.
So the only other new business that wasn't on the agenda is just the idea of moving to in-person meetings only from now on. So I think that this will be the last Zoom-based meeting. Further meetings for this committee will be at the town hall. And I'm not quite sure, Krista, does the phone system work for for conference calling in people, or how does that work there? Can we do something like that, or is this going to be in-person only?
In-person only.
Okay, that's how it used to be, and that always worked. I guess I could take a call from a committee member on my cell phone and phone them in, but I don't know if that's allowed. I know we've done it in the past, but I'm not sure.
Vote.
They can't vote. Okay, they have to be in person to vote. Okay. So I guess that next meeting, I forget the date, but the August meeting would be in person only, and that would be how we would go from now moving forward.
And is 7 o'clock the time for people, or is 7:30 better?
7 is good for me.
what's our date for the August meeting? That puts it pretty close to the fair, right?
Is it the third Wednesday? 1, 2, 3. August
Okay.
18th.
Yeah, so yeah, the fair is the 25th, so we're good.
Okay, so I guess I'll make a motion to open to the public.
Second.
Is there anyone from the public that would like to speak? You can just unmute yourself. Doesn't look like we have any takers. Okay, then I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
You have to motion to close to the public.
Oh, sorry. Can I make a motion to close?
Second.
All right. And then finally, a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right. Thanks, everyone. If you have any thing you'd like to discuss, you can always email me or give me a call.
Sounds
See
good.
you next month in person.
Right.
Take care.
Good night now.
Hey, guys.
Bye now.